when it comes to my argument or interpretation for the existence of God, it has never come from the proof or the lack of proof of God, right? The only thing I judge would be on a genetic level. There is just so much variability between even one person and the other, right? I'm watching a video of a lady who is like big, right? Imagine, okay, now research shows that people can be born with the genetic predisposition to obesity or to, let's, for lack of better words, right? So maybe I'm not even saying it properly. Let's say obesity, right? I don't have that predisposition. I'm not vulnerable to that, right? So even just showing you and I, right? There is already a difference that we can even attribute to genetics. We're not just going to use layman terms and be like, okay, she eats more than me, bro. Food can stimulate her more than me. Hence, okay, now let me even bring in another point: gluttony, right? Gluttony is a sin, right? Imagine two of us did not do any other sin, and just because she is bigger than me, right? How do I say what I want to say? The fact that she is like predisposed to being obese, right, increases her likelihood of being gluttonous than I am, right? So on that variable alone, it's like if every other metric, if every other like sin, right, between me and her we're balanced, like we did not do that, right? On a genetic level, if we're not going to go off of that one sin, she is more likely to go to hell than I am, right? So it's like whenever I think about like just the genetic variability between another human being and another human being, people are bound to go to hell. Then when you now think about every other equitable factor, right? Okay, a black person being born in a poor neighborhood increases their likelihood of committing more crime than a black person born in a suburban neighborhood. Now, if the black person now is more likely to steal because the only environment they've ever known was stealing, even if they have been shown the Bible, right? So let's even control for that, because apparently if you're not exposed to the world, then you'll be judged differently. So let's say that person has been exposed to Islam and Christianity, but that societal factor that reinforces the fact that they have to survive, so they do bad things, makes them do bad things in comparison to the black person in the suburban neighborhood, right? So now that's not even genetic variability, that's now the social factor, right? That person is now more likely to go to hell because they don't have what factors are those called, bro? They don't have the protective factors against they don't have the protective factors against their likelihood to commit crime in comparison to the white person. So now when you put those two people in a group who is more like, do you get what I mean? Like, then somebody would not probably still think, okay, it's human beings. But that's the problem. It is human beings. So why create human beings, right? So that's why my argument for God will never come from God's existence or God's lack of existence. It's why were we created, right? Because in a world that lacks a God, in a world that is just, free-flowing of human beings and organisms on this planet, everything happening right now would make complete amount of sense, because in the animal kingdom, right, there is literally no equality, bro. You get birth to, bro, and survival of the fittest. Like, just think about turtles, bro. They're literally born on the beach, and the mother lays about, let's say, I can't remember the amount, but like she lays about like 100 eggs, right? And these turtlings have to race to the sea, right? But within that race to the sea, there are crabs, there are birds, there are how many things? So let's say she gives us 100, only 3. Do you get, like, there is so much inequality in the world based on power dynamics and just power structures in general. Even in like the way the way predators are more like what's that biological adaptation? Like, predators are more likely to, I don't want to say be free or relaxed, right? Because that's like that's just very layman terms, but like one of the sleep hypotheses, because there are four: sleep as a passive state, sleep as a passive state, sleep as a restorative state, sleep as a biological adaptation, and sleep as a what? Because the first one was restorative, so we sleep based on just common intuition that okay, we sleep to revive, to regenerate our energy. The second one was we sleep because of the reduction of external stimuli, i.e., like when we close our eyes. So like when it's dark, we close our eyes, we lay down, we relax. So just the reduction of stimuli, right? But studies found that people placed in those conditions are even more likely to not sleep. So the third one is not the biological adaptation, where she used lions, right? Because lions are more likely to sleep because they have predators are more likely to sleep because one, they don't need to worry about other predators because they are the predator. Two, they have high something about like because they eat more, or they eat in a specific way that allows them to sleep. So yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm getting to though. That in itself, right? Those power dynamics, those power structures that are already within life. Question why they, I don't know. Let's continue what she's saying, bro.
The same verse. The thing that I notice nobody ever talks about is the fact that the devil and God, though enemies they may be, they're not enemies in the sense of like the Avengers versus Thanos, you know? It's not a I want to defeat you enemy situation. It's more like sickeningly the Joker and Batman. Somebody with the most basic understanding.
But then again, that's that's just wrong because God created the devil. What?
The Bible will be able to tell you, oh, Jesus cast Satan out of heaven. He used to be one of his angels. He cast him out of heaven because he didn't want to listen to the humans. But it's not even just that. Satan and God had a whole conversation about the fact that Satan thought humans were too dumb to follow God. See, you hear people say things like the devil likes to play tricks on you. The devil likes to treat humans like crap. The devil likes to make us feel horrible about ourselves. The devil likes to do these things to take us away from God, not because he wants a whole bunch of souls in hell, but because he has a point to prove to God. The point that he's trying to prove.
But that makes it counterintuitive though. Like, are we not thinking here? Like, who came first? God. Why? And God knows everything, right? And if angels don't have free will, if angels lack free will, right, and they are only bound to the commandments, to the commands of God. What's my English there? Right? Then how did Satan become to be? Because if God was first, angels were second. So now this is Satan, right? So imagine this finger is Satan. God came first. Angels have no free will, right? Because they are bound to God. Where does Satan come from? Where? Because if God came first, angels have no free will. Satan came, but God knows everything. Why is there a devil? Like, we're not asking this question. She's talking about God having a conversation with the devil. But that is counterintuitive. That makes no sense. Why are they talking in the first place? Why is this supreme being engaging? I don't know, bro. It's almost like the devil is the second, like, I don't say strongest, but for lack of better words, it's almost like the devil is the second strongest person in the universe, bro. Like, what I'm talking about, it's just like, it just removes the God knows everything, right? Because if God did not know everything, do you know like how much? But that's counterintuitive because God has to know everything because God is everything. So it's like, what is she talking about?
To God is humans aren't worth the love you have for them. Humans are not worth the sacrifice you're creating in heaven for them.
Someone in the comments is saying, wait, I'm atheist, and this actually makes sense for me. So, what are you talking about?
Angels doing the bidding of people comparable to worms. And the reason that the devil was cast out was not because God is a mean, angry person who doesn't like
Cast out to where, right? If the devil was cast out, right, where was he casted out to? That hell already existed before his banishment. Maybe I don't know these things. Maybe I don't know these things, right? But let's think, right? They were all in heaven. So unless there was a heaven, unless there was a hell made or guys, are you guys following? Are you following, right? Let there be lights, right? And I'm going off of I'm just going off of like general monarchy, like Abrahamic religions, right? I don't say let there be lights, right? God first, angels, right? Iblis or Satan, the devil, got cast out. But where could he have gotten casted out to if God did not already know he was going to do that? Or where did he get casted out to that hell already became a place? 3, where did he get casted out to that he had the power to create a hell? Guys, I don't, unless hell already existed as God created the heavens and hell, and why would that exist in the first place? We have to ask these questions. Why did he get, it's not like he got casted out to earth, right? Or maybe he did. Let me check. Did Satan get cast out to hell or earth? Okay, fair enough. Because if he got casted out to hell, that would kind of crazy. Okay, fair enough. Apparently, Satan was cast down to earth, not directly to hell, while condemned to ultimate punishment in the lake of fire later. He's currently described as roaming the earth and acting as the prince of this world. First.
Disagree with him? No, it's because God said, you know what? You think that these humans aren't more than cattle. You think that these humans aren't more than mealworms. You think that these people do not understand the concept of endless, unconditional love. You think that they are...
Let's also talk about how, like, your parents can never give you that. So just the thought of somebody giving you that also reinforces the connection you have to that thing, right? If somebody could actually give you that till you died and nothing else happened, you would value that more than the fact that, like, this this being is going to give you that forever, right? But what does forever mean? You know, who wants, I don't know.
Just like animals, and they only understand eat or be eaten, but I disagree, and I will prove it to you by giving you power over the ability to manipulate humans. I want you to have the ability to go to Earth and try to get them to leave me. Why does...
Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Oh my god, bro, like, why would he do that?
God let bad things happen. He doesn't. It says it in the Bible if you read it. Every bad thing that he allows the devil to do, he said to the devil himself, and anything you do, I will turn it fruitful. Any negative thing that the devil does to you, God is going to turn into something.
I don't believe the devil does anything to me, bro. I just think that, like, everything within me is me. Everything the devil does, you see, and that's where accountability is removed from human beings, right? That's why accountability will, you get, but it's like they're like, oh, what did someone say? We're all trying to remove accountability from human beings, but you think the devil is doing something to you, but you just lack. I just feel like your prefrontal cortex is not, like, it's not. I don't say it's not working, but like that part of your brain is just not strong enough for you to not do what you don't want to do, and that is fine. You know, like someone's propensity to badness, or like this whole thing is just like larping. This is just larping. So it's like what did she even just say?
Fruitful. Any negative thing that the devil does to you.
Yeah, accountability, right? It's like if I did something bad, what have I done that was bad, right? Like last thing I remember I did that was bad was when I locked me out when they were smoking outside. That bad was just, it's like me saying, oh, that was the devil. No, bro. I just feel like I made an informed decision to lock him out. That was not no devil. Why have I done that? Like, you get what I mean? Like, because if you attribute anything you deem as bad to the devil, removes accountability from you, right? It just removes the fact that like you're a human being with complex processes up in this here, bro. Guys, we just don't know it. We just don't know everything that goes on inside this place, bro. And I have to be a part of that. I have to be. We have to know what's going on inside our brains, because if we did, we wouldn't be. We would. Our likelihood of believing in God will drop, because the more informed we have been about the brain, the less people become religious. You can just see it in the trends, bro.
God is going to turn into something good. He's letting Satan have this ability to see if Satan can win the bet.
That makes no sense. Are people like, what? Why Satan and God betting? Why are they? I don't know, bro. Like the power dynamic that is already God's presence, right? Should expel. You get what? It's almost like it should expel. What do they call it, bro? It should expel God. It should expel Satan in itself. Like, what do you mean Satan win the bet when Satan is inevitably going to go to hell or whatever, bro? What? Are we like?
And that's so crazy, because what do you mean God loves you so much that he decided to bet your immortal soul on your ability?
Thank you. Yeah. At least
temptation?
let's hear what you said about that.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And God said, ooh, and I know you could do it so bad, I put your soul on it. Oh, but Nina, are you not understanding that you are inherently saying that God is the reason that bad things happen? How are you trying to tell me that God doesn't let bad things happen when you are dead ass saying that God lets bad things happen to prove a point? So, are we not made in God's image? What do you think when they say that? Do you really think it just means that we are Homo erectus? No, girl. God's your parent. God is mother, God is father. God is creator of life. You know who else is creator of life? You. You know what you do when you raise a child and let them out into the world? You hope and you pray that your teachings are good enough to teach this child how not to fuck up. To be clear, yeah, I am saying that when you sit there and you say, well, why?
What? We're talking about.
Why does God let bad things happen? You sound like your 26-year-old son who doesn't leave your house and blames you for the fact that he can't get a job. Oh, but God is supposed to protect me. Do you know that most therapists are people who come from really domestically abusive, mentally abusive, or physically abusive households?
That's the point. They're human beings, right? Like, what are we talking about?
Do you know that most suicide hotline workers have had or know somebody who has had somebody who in their life has taken their own life? Do you know that we as humans, we are inherently selfish? Do you know what being born into sin means? It doesn't mean that children are bad people. It means that children are inherently self-serving, self-affirming, selfish little creatures who want, and give nothing in return. I'm a felon.
What? Guys, we need to hear that again. We need to hear that again, bro.
Somebody who in their life has taken their own life? Do you know that we as humans